The world is full of voices, but for millions of women, their voices were never heard. Today, November 25th, the world finally said, enough. No more silence. Today in world history, November 25th stands as a powerful moment when the world chose to confront a truth too heavy to ignore. A truth that lived in whispers, in fear, in pain. A truth carried by women whose stories were buried in silence. It began with a global realization. Violence against women wasn't a local issue. It was a universal wound, crossing borders, languages, cultures, and generations. Millions were affected. Mothers, daughters, students, workers, leaders, the young, the old. Lives broken, dreams interrupted, futures stolen. Not because of who they were, but because the world looked away for too long. So the world finally stood together. The United Nations declared November 25th the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. A day not of mourning, but of awakening. Why it happened? The global community recognized that violence thrives in silence. Change begins when truth is no longer hidden. When society stops blaming victims and starts confronting the systems that enable abuse. Who was affected? Women and girls across every continent. From the ones who survived and rebuilt, to the ones whose stories ended before they were ever told. Global impact. Nations passed stronger laws. Organizations rose in every country. Voices united. Awareness spread. Support systems grew. And the world began to understand something powerful. Protecting women is not charity. It is the foundation of a healthy and just society. What it teaches us today, that violence doesn't disappear by itself. That silence is dangerous. That every person has a role to play. To speak, to protect, to educate, to stand with those who cannot stand alone. Positive side. The world became more aware. Victims became survivors. Men joined the fight. Laws evolved. Movements grew. And courage became a global language. Negative side. Millions continue to suffer. Many cases remain unreported. Some nations still lack protection. And countless voices remain unheard. Why it matters to human life? Because a world that hurts women hurts itself. A world that silences half its population can never move forward. And a society that protects the vulnerable secures its own future. So today, the message is clear. Violence is not culture. It is not tradition. It is not acceptable. Not today. Not ever. November 25th reminds us of one truth. When we defend women, we defend families, we defend communities, we defend the world itself. And that is why this day, November 25, continues to echo through our world. But the story does not end there. Because every year, more voices rise. More truths come to light. More people find the courage to speak after years of silence. And with every voice, another chain breaks. Another life moves closer to safety. Today reminds us that violence does not begin with bruises. It begins with control, with intimidation, with silence, with the quiet fear that grows in the corners of a home where no one is listening. And so, the world listens now. Nations create stronger laws. Communities build shelters. Organizations train people to recognize the signs. Men and women stand together, refusing to allow fear to hide behind closed doors ever again. But the work continues. Because for every survivor who finds freedom, there is another still waiting, still hoping, still searching for a moment of escape. This day calls us to pay attention, to protect the vulnerable, to challenge harmful traditions, to raise sons who respect, and daughters who know their worth, to build families that heal instead of harm. The lesson of today is simple, yet eternal. A safer world begins at home. A peaceful world begins with understanding. And a future without violence depends on the choices we make now, the courage we show today, and the compassion we carry forward into tomorrow. One day, one event, one lesson. Mr. Fidi.